Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for your patience. For those of you on Zoom, thank you. We started the meeting just a pinch late because we did some of the back end stuff on the front end. So I'm calling the 2025 annual meeting of the membership to order. That meeting will be immediately followed by the reorganizational meeting and regular board meeting with the new board of directors. So before we begin, let's do the pledge. Thank you.
You're doing the pledge.
Then ask the secretary to call roll.
I guess because Nick is running, not Nick. Patrick, who was the president, is running.
Thank you. You might want to hear it. Really good. Here.
Alana,
Here.
Earl. Deborah,
Here.
Tom Getz. Leslie Halpern,
Here.
Joel Coe,
Here.
Beverly Fernandez,
Here.
Alex Ray,
Here.
Saxby.
Here.
We need to do some merits.
Okay. While you're doing that, and yes, I'm presiding over the meeting today because Patrick is running for reelection. So I'm presiding officer. Okay, approval, board, we're gonna call your attention to item A, the approval of the minutes from 7/20/25 from the regular meeting. That is tab 1 on your board book. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion.
Zach motions. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any refusals
Even
or
send it
abstentions?
back.
Patrick seconds. We're still on, not muted. Everybody.
Who's
All in
second, I'm sorry.
Patrick.
Oh, Patrick.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any recusals or abstentions? None, motion passes. Now we're going to approve the minutes from the special meeting from August 2nd. Board, that's on tab 2 of your board book. Can I get approval for those minutes?
The minutes for the emergency meeting, you said?
So yes, the emergency special meeting from 8/2.
I'll make a motion.
Patrick motions. Can I get a second? Dan seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any recusals? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes for the approval of the 8/2 special meeting minutes. Going to item B, the annual meeting and director election. Prior to the Zoom starting, we appointed via Article 5, Section 6, 3 inspectors. That included Alan Chance, Bob Urs, and Sandy. Sandy, what's your last name? What was it? Autorino, thank you. And Nick was our, what's the term, the
Commissioner of Elections.
Commissioner of Elections. Thank you. We
Overseeing.
had to designate someone to supervise the counting as, authority as necessary here. They are in the process of reviewing those numbers and I will announce them shortly. While we are waiting for that, I think we could just go on to the next thing, which is to, just a note. The board previously approved the financial statement or the audit from 2024. Board, just so you have awareness around that, we approved it via email on 4/21. There was a confirmation email sent by Patrick on 4/23. According to Article 6, Section 1, that has to get out to the homeowners. It will be posted to the website as soon as possible at the end of this meeting for your review.
Wait.
And now we're. Oh, now we're just
Do
waiting.
we have a representation for the vote?
We have our acting attorney, Scott Payton from Hush and Russ is on the Zoom with us.
Yes, I am. Good. Yeah, this is Scott Payton. Good morning.
Hi, Scott.
Yes. 9 figure.
While we're waiting, I guess I would just also like to say thank you to our outgoing board members. Zach is here in the room today, and then to Tom Carroll, and Pat is running for re-election as well. Thank you for your service. Okay. You want Zach's personal phone number after this, we'll be putting it in the chat, so you can reach in at any time.
They still on the board. I'll be floating around.
No fun.
Nice fun, yeah. Yeah, it's.
Team Aqua.
Yeah, saw that.
Good morning.
President, I heard. President, I heard you. Yes. For your signing for it. He's got.
Can I ask the inspectors to come up quickly just to verify math? Thank you, sure. Yeah, you're.
That on the. It was-
I usually look at my notepad to verify I'm asking the right. So this is the combined. These are the electronic totals. This is the paper totals. That's what's on. Well, it takes all. And then the calculator, the electronic totals. 200 total electronic votes. 9, second and fourth. Yeah. So
These are still got for the annual, I don't know. It's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, more like a box. What is box, 30 years.
Here they are.
These quoting ones, what's the limit? Based on.
Did you do paper? Which one? You paper. These are do paper now, electronic.
No, I.
You good?
Oh, well, okay, I'm gonna actually have Chris read out the results because he has a lot of stuff written on the pad that I cannot make out.
Alright, we had 297 total member votes for this annual meeting. Of those 288 were cast electronically, and we had 9 paper ballots cast this election. And what I've asked the inspectors to do is to verify that I can do math, since I should not math. Alright, and I would say, we had. On the electronic ballot, many of you may have noticed that there is an option to simply vote for quorum rather than to vote for candidates. So an 18.25 votes were for quorum only. So if there's a discrepancy in total number, that's what it is. On capital repair, item number 1, which is the.
Yes, that's a little.
On capital item number one concerning the roof replacement. There were 244.5 votes in favor and 49.75 votes against. That item passes. On capital repair item number 2, considering the purchase of a weed removal machine for the lakes. There were 234.25 votes in favor and 60.25 votes against. That motion passes. Okay. We had 8 candidates for election. I'll read out the voting titles for each individual candidate. Receiving 80.5 votes, Hal Simon. Receiving 82.5 votes, Steve Lotto. Receiving 100.5 votes, Celeste Iannuzzi. Receiving 108 votes, Jeff Leventoff. Receiving 165 votes and elected to a 3-year term to the Emerald Green Board of Directors, Mark Becker. Receiving 167.25 votes and elected to a 3-year term to the Emerald Green Board of Directors, Ken Coder. Receiving 169.5 votes and elected to a 3-year term to the Emerald Green Board of Directors, Sarah Satz. Receiving 184.5 votes and elected to a 3-year term to the Emerald Green Board of Directors, Patrick Cadell.
Okay, so we are going to then begin our reorganizational meeting. We're gonna take a brief break for those of you that want to stay or not, and so that the new board members can seat at the table, and then we will begin our reorganizational phase.
It's gone.
It's
Been a pleasure. You left your place way to the rest, Bob. It's like a hit. Yeah.
My grandmother lived in. So I have like, I grew up listening to her.
It's been going fine moving out there. Yeah, we can ask fast, so we can tell them about.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, but tell them about all their theories for them.
This text I
My house. Girls, take it over. Not yet, but I mean, everything, was a million. So I didn't want to send it over. I don't have a gavel.
Folks, candidates coming again. You can ask board members to take their seats. Mr. Tucker.
You're already out of order.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna call the
Okay, guys.
I'm gonna call to order the reorganizational meeting, the regular board meeting for August 17th, 2025. We are gonna call the new roll. Chris is gonna call the new roll
No,
Here.
Alana Compton,
here.
Ken Coder,
Here.
Dan Brumbaugh,
Here.
Sarah Satz,
Here.
Leslie Skew
Here.
Joel Cohen. Here. Beverly Fernandez,
Here.
Alex Ray,
Here.
Mark Becker.
Here.
We have a forum.
Okay, I'm gonna recognize Chris and we're gonna call the selection of the officers.
I would like to nominate Patrick Cannell for president of the association.
Okay,
I'll
we have a
second
second,
that. I'll second
okay. Joel seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good.
All those opposed? Any recusals, any abstentions? Okay. That's passed. This is. Okay, moving on, we are going to. Oh, Patrick, now you can preside over the meeting. Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Okay. You need, there you go.
yeah,
Go for it.
okay, so now we need to select executive vice president, and I would nominate again, Alana Kaufman. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any recusals? Any abstentions? Hearing none? Congratulations, Alana. All right, we also have in our bylaws an option for additional vice presidents. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate Joel Cohen.
I don't think we gave any of us the time.
I second.
Okay,
I would like to nominate Sarah.
So we vote on motions in the order in which they're received.
okay, so on the nomination of Joel for vice president, having been made and seconded, assuming you've said, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any recusals? Any abstentions? Are there any other nominations for, wait, so now we have two vice presidents. We need secretary and treasurer, right? Okay, so for the treasurer, are there nominations for treasurer?
I nominate Ken Cody.
Is there a second?
I'm sorry, who? Oh,
Mark seconds.
Mark seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
So. Any opposed, any recusals, any abstentions? Congratulations.
Yeah, I'd like to nominate a vice treasurer,
An assistant treasurer.
yes,
Yes, go ahead.
Leslie.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
I request a roll call vote.
Okay.
Lee, sorry, taking minutes.
Yeah.
Patrick,
No.
Alana.
No.
Joel. No. I vote no. Ken. No. Dan,
Yes.
Sarah.
oh,
You could have stayed, yeah, sure.
I'll see, thank you.
Yeah, that looked good. Okay,
Yeah.
Leslie.
Well, can I go for myself, I guess, it doesn't matter,
Okay,
sure, yes,
Beverly,
I'm gonna abstain.
Alex,
Yes.
Mark,
Abstain.
motion fails.
Okay, do we have any nominations for the office of secretary?
I nominate Chris.
I'll second.
Okay, Chris having been nominated in second, all those in favor? Aye.
Anonymously.
Any opposed?
who's second, I'm sorry?
Joel, that's it.
Any recusals, any abstentions? Hearing none, congrats, Chris.
I would like to nominate an assistant secretary.
An assistant secretary, okay?
I'd like to nominate Beverly as the assistant secretary.
Oh, I'll second. I'd like to, I'm gonna clarify, this would also make Beverly this would also, as assistant secretary, Beverly would also be a nominating officer.
Okay. Beverly having been nominated and seconded for the office of assistant secretary, all those in favor? Aye.
And who second?
Joel,
Joel,
I'm a busy second.
yeah, we're going really quick. Any opposed? Any recusals? Any abstentions? Hearing none? That passes. Congrats, Beverly. Okay. I think that's it for our officers. Now we move on to schedule for regular meetings. So, over the last month or so, we did our meet the candidates. There were a couple suggestions, about moving our regular meeting date and time to another date and time. I'm fine with Sunday mornings myself, but, wanted to take this opportunity to revisit that if members of the board wish to consider another day and time.
There was homeowners that spoke to weekdays, so, I mean,
What do we send,
perhaps a Thursday or.
why don't we send a survey and let the community decide by majority who wants?
We have
what
to
days?
decide based on the bylaws today.
Well, we can set it now, and I suppose revisit it if needed.
I would,
Fair.
so I would suggest that, this needs to be decided by the board because our attendance and ability to engage is the most important question here. And I would also suggest that, we consider moving it to Sunday afternoons to respect people who want to, worship on Sunday mornings. I think that's a concern that's been expressed, and I think that's a fair ask. I also think my personal experience in this board has been that we solve problems more effectively as a board when we are in person. And it's going to be, and we have a mix of folks on this board who are here full-time and not, and it's going to be easier to have the board in person at the table talking and solving a problem on a weekend than it is on a Zoom on a weeknight, which also, just speaking personally as somebody who has a full-time job that often goes into the evening, that's gonna be a more difficult ask for me. So I would suggest considering moving this to maybe perhaps 11 a.m. on Sunday mornings. This would allow people who want to worship early in the morning to worship and then to join the Zoom meeting.
Okay, so currently we.
o'clock mass. They can worship at 7 o'clock and be here by.
I also think maybe if you wanna move early to do a later mass or something, those of us with kids have kids. who have
Married
sporting events on
49 years
Sundays,
and
that's
5
what
pushes,
I'm
I'm
saying.
50.
I would prefer to
On
leave it
a
at
Sunday afternoon.
or earlier, if that's the suggestion.
Early.
I prefer to leave it as it is.
Okay.
You know, people with kids can get up, have breakfast with their children, there is early mass. And then the rest of the Sunday is free instead of being here until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Sure. Okay, so we're gonna keep it third Sunday is 9 AM. All right,
Formal motion,
oh yeah,
I motion to keep meetings the third Sundays, monthly meetings, third Sundays, that are.
there's a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed, any recusals, any abstentions? Hearing none, shall be the third Sunday of every month at 9 AM. And I'll send out new board members, once you get your email set up, I'll send out calendar invites for each of those as well. All right, designation of check signer, pursuant to Article 11, Section 3.
The motion to add Ken Coder as a check signer, and I would motion to remove all outgoing board members as check signers for the association.
Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed, any recusals, any abstentions? That passes. Just a point of clarification.
I'm sorry. Is everyone
Earl,
Earl and I don't think Tom
I
or,
was an assistant.
oh, was he next time?
I don't think you would.
Yeah, no.
you
The
would.
motion was to remove anybody who's no longer.
Being.
no, just outgoing.
No, you're.
Oh, the outgoing.
Yes,
Just as a point of clarification, so that leaves us with who?
Chris,
Dan's still a check signer.
myself.
Dan,
Joel.
Alex, yourself,
Funny check.
Joel, Alana,
Good,
Chris.
all right, we've got coverage, good.
We just remove Earl at this point and add Ken.
Okay. All right, setting of transfer fee amounts pursuant to Article 14, Section 2.
Oh, yes.
If you need to read it.
What does that mean?
So under Article 14 of the bylaws, and I'm gonna read through the bylaws, the board can raise the transfer fee, which is the fee that anybody purchasing a home or lot in this community pays to the association. Board can raise the fee, and I quote, such increase being limited to the increase in the consumer price index, all consumers, all urban consumers, all items index not seasonally adjusted during the immediately preceding year, rounded to the nearest dollar. The current transfer fee is $1,761 for homes, $588 for buildable lots, and $60 for undeveloped lots. The CPI increase over the past 12 months was 2.7%. And I will motion to raise the transfer fee by 2.7%, which is the maximum allowable by the board. The bylaws also require us to do this at this meeting. That would raise the transfer fee for homes to $1,809, to buildable lots to $604, and for undeveloped lots to $62.
And this has nothing to do with the floating transfer fee that we.
No,
Right? The existing bylaws.
Oh, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
But we can still go back and
You have to
revisit.
change
We
the
can
bylaw.
revisit that.
Yeah, you have to change. the bylaw.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
What was the percentage that was raised?
Any opposed, any recusals, any abstentions?
0.75?
Hearing none, that passes. All
Or
right.
was 2.71.
The last thing we need to do is talk about our committees for 2025 and 2026.
We need to also reaffirm his authority as a
That's
depositor.
we can do that last.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's-
No, let's do that now. So,
Okay.
Chris, want to read that out?
Sure. So, I motion to continue Nick Warner, our Director of Property Management, as a check signer, depositor, and trustee for all of EGPOA's financial institutions.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? No recusals, no abstentions, that passes.
Or Valerie.
I don't need them as signer. They can take deposit, but they don't need any authority to do that. But they take a deposit.
Okay. Our committee structure for 2025 and 2026, I don't know if we have to settle on it just right here and right now, but, so I was thinking about this a bit and, things like our pool committee, I think I don't know that we need that anymore. Obviously, things like lakes, bylaws, those are pretty institutionalized, but bylaws in the bylaws. I'm not, maybe at a workshop, board members, we can sort of sort through what committees we're gonna have for 25, 26.
Well, is there a few that we wanna just consider staples?
Yeah, I mean, Lakes is,
So do we wanna make those motions now and then everything else we?
I mean, the Lakes Committee is an ongoing committee, so I'm happy to.
I'd like
entertain
to
that
look
one.
at it as a whole, because if like, let's say we just put a pool under lakes or we have a sub, I think the conversation is just more comprehensive altogether as one, workshop the committees.
Personally, I think the lakes and pool could probably merge into one. But I think that there's certain ones that you wanna make sure that you consider, those are staples, let's get those done now. I think Mark would be a great candidate for the Lakes Committee Chair. Say that out loud right now, and we wanna discuss that and then table everything else.
Do you want a co-chair?
Sure.
We could have co-chairs. Sound good? Okay, so. I'll make a motion to,
You don't need a motion, you can appoint chairs.
okay, so Mark and Joel will be co-chairs of the Lakes Committee. I need to look at the bylaws to understand the constitution of the bylaws committee. But we currently have some members on there. From the community. I need to look at who's left on that and who needs to be,
So
we may
that,
have a spot or two to fill, is my point.
what about the finance and strategic?
Strategic planning and finance is another one we haven't met in a while, but I think that's an important committee. I'd like to kind of workshop that, look at it a little bit more. Oversight's another one that I think we can perhaps reconfigure in a way, because I think some of the functions of the oversight committee are super important and quite honestly weren't getting done over the last year or so. It'd be nice to figure out, I don't know, where we're gonna get the most horsepower out of some of these committees.
And I think things like pool really should fall into buildings and grounds, and we kind of more some of these things.
Well, that would be for a recreational committee.
Yeah, I mean, things.
Yeah.
We can kind of give management and give some suggestions to kind of help
That would be great.
these things.
All right, let's do that.
So we got like,
Yeah,
So we got Lakes, that's good. That'll keep us rocking and rolling, and by next meeting, we'll have this all.
All
sorted
of
out.
this has to be done today.
no, that's what we
It
should
is.
figure.
So maybe we should get together and see what,
Yeah,
That's-
what
that's what
the
the.
committees, what do they
That's what
really
we want.
do and.
Yep,
That's what we want.
all right. We'll move on to the management and maintenance report really quickly.
Things are running pretty smooth, other than, some water main breaks we've had on the water company side. The last, we fixed one on Douglas Street, another one breaks. That's,
whack-a-mole.
property wise, pool is running pretty good these days. We are getting towards the end of the season, looking at a closing date of, if that was gonna come up. It is that second week in September is going to be the 14th will be the last official day of the pool unless we get I think it's called Indigenous Person Summer now. So we will probably be closing the 14th of September. We have a end of season potluck we're doing on the 13th there, and Chris, and along, you guys have something planned for Labor Day weekend? Does that end up coming to fruition, or
We're,
women jukebox? Does that happen? or-
I
I think we're gonna ask you to book that too. So we're gonna weekend up there still all day.
Okay, cool. So we'll chat offline about that. So we have a couple of cool activities coming up, but on the management and maintenance front, had a broken basketball hoop in the gym that got fixed, last week. We had some, repairs in, actual fitness center, that took place. Beverly brought some things to our attention. We had some service in there. We had new equipment delivered in there. That's up and running. We're gonna be moving some equipment around, so good stuff happening, just a lot going on, and thankfully the election is over here. Roof repairs, now that it has been approved, we'll probably be starting that, second week of September, right after Labor Day, so.
How long do you think that would take? What's yours?
Their estimate is about 7 to 10 days full completion.
Wow.
So, there may be one day in which we might just have to shut down the front entrance when they're doing work, but otherwise, the building will be fully accessible. Just might have to use the side entrance, but we'll put a notice out, let everyone know what's going on with that. I did send around some capital information to you all for the next project to talk about. So we can start looking at that and discussing that. And once the committees get back in action, we can go over those items. And then we'll start working on some other items that need to be addressed. Status quo, looking forward to working with the new board members, and please reach out and let's maybe schedule some time in the next week or so, to get some time, spend an hour or two together each. Or if you want to come in as a group, we could do that as well, go over things where we're at with different projects, and so that.
Good,
Go ahead.
last year, we spent a fair amount of time trying to find that information regarding the pool chairs, what was broken, how many we had that were broken. Is there any chance that we can have that inventory after we close that, so next year, in March, we're not wondering if we need to purchase more chairs? Or, you know what I mean?
Well,
We
we-
spent a lot of time talking about that the
Yeah.
beginning of this year.
When we put things away this year, we'll
Yeah,
go through
doing
them.
good inventory, what needs to be, replaced or.
We did that with all of our interior furniture earlier this year, so we can do that with our pool furniture. And this year it seemed pretty good. I don't think we had many complaints, and the things that were broken, we took out of service, and but we definitely can do that, and that way, when we get into budget season, we'll know if we
Correct.
have to project for any of that.
Correct.
So.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I'm also gonna make some recommendations about, putting some reserve funds away. I had spoken to Joel about that. Putting some pool reserve money away, just to start planning. I know there's a little bit of etching in the bottom of the pool that's taking place in the kiddie pool, that we're seeing. So I am gonna have the pool company come down and take a look at that as we close up, so we can, get ahead of that before it becomes a problem as well. So definitely, Leslie, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just so Sarah and Ken and Mark, you guys will get emeraldgreenpoa.com emails.
Yeah, we'll get them
They
set
can
up
be
this week
also
for
sent
you.
out, so and we'll make sure everybody's on the right email strings going forward. But, all right,
What about the boat launch over here? Is that, they're doing it today?
I have to check with him if he's coming today. We have that machine for a few more days, so we've got it for the whole week. It was $200 more for the whole week as opposed to 2 days, so that made sense to keep it.
okay, any other board member questions for next?
Yeah, Wednesday's fine for the machine. Do we have any affirming votes on the roof or the, oh, now that we have?
All approved. We're good, okay. So no other questions for Nick, though not on the public agenda, Dan, had, a proposal, that I'll let Dan introduce. For the, board members and new board members who should have received, to make sure everybody's got a copy of the board book. Do you have that? Nick, you can get this. So before each board meeting, I put together a packet of our agenda and then tabbed in the agenda, and annotated our items that we're gonna vote on, so that you got all the information and everything that you need right there. So, what you're gonna see in that board book are 2 sets of minutes. Those are the ones that we approved at the beginning of the meeting. And what you'll see at the end is an email from Dan along with, a proposal that he's put forward. So that's just the organizational piece of it, right? I'll recognize Dan.
Thanks. So essentially what I did was I put a proposal together, for limiting and, preventing phosphates and phosphorus from getting into our, groundwater and then ultimately leaching into Lake Louise Marie and, a series of lakes that we had through waterways. So the purpose of this, fertilizer care and use guideline would be to prevent water contamination from runoff or leaching in an effort to prevent or reduce eutrophication process. The eutrophication process is where the water bodies become overly enriched with nutrients. The primary nutrients involved in the process are nitrogen and phosphorus. This process is the leading cause of excessive algae growth and other invasive plants. The overgrowth because of eutrophication can deplete oxygen levels in the water and harm aquatic life. Additionally, eutrophication degrades water quality by affecting turbidity, water color, clarity, and taste. With that, I've also included the New York State fertilizer guidelines and what they offer as an identification for homeowners to see, where we might fall in line with the rules or guidelines as it includes phosphorus. on page 3 of my hopefully adopted proposal is some of the rules. Understanding that nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus make their ways into the waterways through runoff. We must, react, in limiting the phosphorus. So 1, no fertilizer can be applied from November 1st to April 1st. 2, no phosphates or phosphorus compounds can be used or applied to lawns or private gardens in EGPOA. So essentially, the middle number on all fertilizer bags must be 0. Fertilizer packaging must be marked with a 0 indicating phosphorus in the compound. No fertilizer can be used or applied within 25 feet of any waterway or water source. Homeowners are required to provide notice to all landscapers or contractors on the adopted fertilizer rules. So essentially, every contractor working in EGPOA, if Sarah hires a contractor, she needs to make sure that he is included in the communications. Homeowners and or their contractors must be able to provide documentation upon request of the fertilizer and its packaging being applied to anyone who identifies themselves as either a compliance or an officer of the association. And then violations and penalties, any homeowner who chooses to operate outside of this adopted rule would be subject to violations determined by the board of directors. So my ask is that we adopt this rule. I speak on behalf, or not fully on behalf of the water company, but in my position as the president of the water company, we have seen elevated levels of phosphorus coming into the water plant. We do have the ability to manage phosphorus and phosphates as it relates to people's water, so that's a good thing, but we do not have, at the water company, have the ability to manage the phosphorus levels in the lake and make sure that the lake is healthy and operating, working as healthy as it can. Right now, we're seeing significantly higher levels than we have in the past. Our raw water intake in phosphorus was at a 0.51 on Friday. I asked to have the phosphorus levels checked. The healthy number that all state agencies seem to like is a 0.05. So that would put us at 10 times the amount of phosphorus that the state would like to see. Again, that doesn't necessarily impact our drinking water because we're able to treat that, and it's not necessarily harmful to humans, but it is harmful to the lake. So my ask is that we react. Suffolk County, Nassau County have done similar proposals. Also, we've hired out contractors, engineering firms to work on some of these strategies that we have. We have the CSLAP program. They've done phosphorus testing. So it's a theme right now. We're getting towards the end of summer. The more sunshine we get, the higher the phosphorus is looking to go. So I think we have to react.
Okay, I have a question. As of right now, any landscaper, no landscapers need a permit. So would that be asking too much that, for a landscaper to come and ask for a permit from the POA? This way they have an understanding of what the laws are, as opposed to letting the homeowners tell the landscapers what the laws are?
That might be a bigger pill to swallow, because the implications from the office staff on taking permits on landscaping would probably be like a home. I think if we adopt the rule, making the homeowners the ones responsible for the landscapers would help that.
Recognize Mark.
Unknowns to me, we've been working on the same thing. I've been working on it now for about a week or two. I posted on Facebook, if anybody's seen that. I've also sent information to Alana. I've sent information to Joel. I posted on a unofficial page. Basically the same thing you said, okay? There's also New York State law that says that gardeners cannot around lakes, otherwise they'll get fined. It's a New York State law. I posted that this week on the website, okay? If anybody else would like to see that, I'll be happy to share that information with them.
Just pulled it up too.
You did already.
Yeah, the runoff law.
The runoff law, which I posted, by the way, the runoff law.
Yeah, it's included in the
Well,
Yeah.
I think there's some differences between what Dan's proposed and the runoff law, but,
There is some,
yeah, and we would need to fix it, but.
and
Joe-
let me just
Go.
finish.
Yeah.
I think I think we should have a proposal like Dan's. I think it should go through. I think it should be brought at the committee level first and then brought up to the board. That's just my opinion
Yep.
being new. You guys
I
agree? Okay? All right.
Don't,
This is a very big issue that we have to deal with. I think we need to look at this and get input, one, from the contractors that work in the community. And see what they have to say. And I would take care of that. In regard, I think licensing the contractors instead of everybody having to go get an individual permit. But if we license the contractors and tell them these are what our rules and also tell the community, I think we're covering both bases. But again, I think it's a great idea, don't get me wrong, I think we need more information, I think we need to research it a little bit better.
What further research would we need?
I don't know, that's why we do research.
I would also just like to, recognize what Mark just said. The Lakes Committee has had eyes on this for a while. Things were, Friday, we attended a meeting with the DEC. There were several people from the committee meeting, on that Zoom call. I believe there's additional information that would be additive to this motion. I think there's consensus around having a motion like this. Thank you for bringing it to the table. I agree. I just think, like Mark said, it should go back to the committee members who've been working on this for a while and to kind of tweak the.
I'd just like to add
subject
one
matter
thing.
experts to weigh in.
Just like to add one
Yeah,
thing.
please.
I've already been in touch with Joe Russo. I have Glenn Fodder's telephone number. I was waiting to find out if I was gonna be on the board before I continued, okay? I would like to propose getting the three main guys into a room with us and talking to them. I spoke to Joe in person yesterday, and he also said he was bound by the New York State law, okay? He was using Milo, which is a slow granular release, which is also acceptable, but it does have some phosphate in it, but because it was very slow, it was acceptable on the website. But I agree with Dan that phosphate level should be 0 on fertilizer. And Joe Russo agreed with me, and he has no problem complying, right? So I would just like to get the other three main guys that do like 90% of this community
I'll reach out to Danny.
in a room with us. You reach out to Danny,
I'll reach out.
and I've already reached out to Joe, and I'm gonna reach out to Glenn Fodder. Huh?
Yeah, so clearly that this should go back to the Lakes Committee
The door.
first instance.
The door,
I just-
thank you.
Can we just create some structure around this? So can you guys, because I think that you're right, it really needs to be addressed, and it's something that's been in the works for a very long time, so I think what Dan's concern is that he doesn't wanna see it go further, and I don't think that that's what your intent
I
is to
wanted to let
do.
us review.
I know. So in order to like facilitate everybody coming together with cohesiveness on this, one, I think it would be great if you were a member of the Lakes Committee, if you're not already, because since you're on the water company, you have a lot to offer as far as like protecting the water source and stuff. And then for you guys, if you could, try to schedule a meeting as soon as possible, that way it gets done.
This committee meeting,
Yeah.
and then we'll also do a board meeting.
I just wanna add something in closing to the topic here, so. I have here in hand, the Princeton Hydro report. The anticipated Princeton Hydro report that we waited. And with all due respect, Joel, you're the chair of the Lakes Committee, and you've had this since March.
I haven't had that.
Yes, you have. You received it just as much as everyone at this table, except for the new board members have. On page 20, says, in addition to regular monitoring, a comprehensive lake management plan should be developed.
Okay.
So we've been advised on this since 2022, though we didn't receive the report from our prior manager until March 20th. And I could re-forward you the same email.
Sure.
So the Lakes Committee should have probably addressed this some time ago. And the reason why I'm raising the alarm bell on it now is because algae blooms tend to occur in the time period we're in right now. Peak sun, lower rainfall. We're seeing significantly higher levels of phosphorus right now than we have in the past. So, there is a timing issue right now. So if other members want to kick this down the road to a committee and then wait until another board convenes and votes on it, that's one thing, but I don't recommend that. I think that we have to react a lot quicker than that when it comes to the phosphorus.
I just resist the characterization that we're kicking it down the road. I think what people are saying out loud here is that they support this and they want to do it right, and and it's a big deal. And it just takes a little bit more time and process, which is our regular process. There's no. I hope what you're hearing is support and just give us a moment. That's all.
I'm saying it's August right now, so, fall fertilizer is gonna be going down in August, September. So here we are.
I would say, just speaking for myself, if the Lakes Committee is able to meet quickly on this and resolve this, we can certainly convene a meeting earlier than the next monthly meeting if need be, if we have a proposal ready to go. I'd be happy to support that. But once we get the process done, absolutely, we can do it. We don't have to wait a month. It's just-
Yeah.
I hear timing is a concern, and I think that's a fair valid concern.
I'll do a meeting this week.
Right.
All right, sounds great.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Then that's good.
Come back to the
We
board.
won't kick it down the road. I'll get it done this week.
I would ask, that the Lakes Committee co-chairs also talk to Nick and visit with council. There's some stuff, in this proposal that I think council would need to review, especially around number 5, but just visit with Nick and
What does the board think about my idea about getting the 3 main landscapers in a room?
why not? Subject matter experts.
I think those 3 guys already know
You're
that.
They do already know that, by the way.
But we
They
need
do.
to get, I know,
Counties
this is
have
not
stuff.
something, this isn't new. This
Okay.
goes back 15 years that I've been dealing with this.
Yep.
We need the rest of the guys who at one time or another used to work for those 3 guys, now with something, go out, buy a pickup truck, stick a sign on it, and I'm gonna ask you.
Joe,
Those are the guys that you.
Joe was telling me yesterday, I met with Joe for about 20 minutes yesterday. Joe told me yesterday that, some people around here used to have Kenmore come around. And the dogs around here were getting cancer, he was telling me. Kenmore is a company that sprays chemicals on your lawn.
All right, I think, guys, I think we're all on the same page.
Specialized.
You want this done, right?
No, because like Scott.
Jen, so let me take control.
Right.
All right, so just to put a bow on it, the Lakes Committee will meet ASAP, make a proposal, the board will consider it even if needed before our next, before our September monthly meeting. Okay. Gonna move on, item E is our financial review. Unfortunately, there were some questions that Nick and Joel need to go over, with the accountants. So we don't have the July financial report. I don't know, Joel, if there's anything else from your viewing, you'll download, we can.
Well, hopefully, so we collected that $63,000 in the tax liens. I would like to move that money into the fund, in the funding company, it's a large one.
Okay, work with Ken on that, and we'll make that change going forward. All right, Dan, for the water company update on capital improvement projects and general update, please.
So we did not have a meeting, obviously, as we shouted out to the water company district, but, we are continuing to move along on the project. We did hear back from, our bonding, advisor, David Barr, so he's still working on that. So once we get some further information, we'll communicate that out to the board and the community to let them know the next step. Other than that, we're just working on, water main breaks. There's been a couple on Douglas Street. Hopefully we got those resolved. We'd love to see that complete, no more water in the roadways. That one, the most recent leak was pretty significant because the water main was actually almost 9 feet deep. So that was
Below the sewer line.
yeah. And luckily, through good partnership, we were able to get Town of Thompson to come out and help us with the sewer, so we got that squared away. And now we just gotta get some patches done and we should be squared away as far as the roadway goes. That's about it.
Okay, questions for Dan?
Financials?
We didn't have a meeting, so we don't have any financials for you, but next month we'll make sure we send both months out.
Okay. Any other questions for Dan? Nope. All right, member homeowner comments and questions. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Judy Cutler.
Hi, Judy.
I know some of you have been involved with the Ronstein proposed 67 unit development. Although it's Treasure Lake, it will affect Emerald Green more than most people can imagine. I've said at the town board meetings, I may be the closest to Treasure Lake Road where 67 cars, a minimum of, will be turning just at my house. But beyond that, I think we all should realize how big an impact this will have on Emerald Green. And I appreciate the support we've already gotten. And I'm wondering, first of all, if we could send out an email to Emerald Green when the next town board meeting, which will be in September, the planning board meeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can do that.
As many people as possible to the meetings. I think a few of the meetings we've had standing room only,
Mhm.
and we've gotta continue pushing to stop it from pushing on,
Right,
so.
agreed.
And thank you again for those
yeah, I
who
mean,
have
we're-
spoken and presented.
Yeah, we're with you. And as you know, I was at the last town council board meeting for behalf of the board. And we'll have membership, or we'll have
We've got
representation
to
there.
be as an organized group, I think.
Yeah,
Agree.
Yeah, we can send out an email. Yeah.
Regarding, homeowners, so the Lakes Committee Alliance provided me with this, document they would like for us to be able to share, through the community. I don't see anything in there that is not accurate or helpful for the residents to view, so I would ask that if we can get this document out from the office to the community, unless board members have an issue with this.
I second that.
Pretty much, I put some receipts.
This is all over the
When
this
you
is all over the red building.
Reminder emails for the town board meeting, can you do like, whenever you're gonna do it, but then like one the day before the meeting? Just because sometimes, like, I know for myself, I could plan, but if I have a reminder right the day before or the morning of,
Fair.
it works very well for me. I don't-
And Judy, the issue that you have is the sheer amount of homes that are proposed to be built, correct?
Well, Treasure Lake, I don't think has the single occupancy requirements, but.
Your original plan, as I understand it, one of your relatives spoke about this too. It was a big single family development, the original plan.
However, Floyd was what was really good,
Yeah.
because he presented two plans,
Mhm.
that tried to make it sound, he tried to make it sound that they weren't related.
Right,
And the board was aware of the fact that they were trying to put something over on the community.
Yes, there was a woman on that board that shot him down.
right.
Yes.
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 Uh-huh.
I can't remember her name, but she's wonderful, and well done.
Yes.
It would be multi-families when you think.
Well, it's not, there's not enough room for 67.
Because there are other developments
We don't have
around
enough
Emerald Green.
I wanna take
There are
it.
other developments around Emerald Green that
If I
are
want to
working
take
as
it,
well, and we're not going.
No, I got it.
Well,
I came.
yes, you're right.
You guys need to see this?
And Treasure Lake, I don't know what requirements they have, but I know in Emerald Green, we used to, because I have been on board for so many years. We used to have a 30-foot height limit. I don't know how high they'll be going. The board was not presented the project until the last
Yeah.
meeting. And Ronstein did not want to follow up in August, because
I'm gonna be
away.
And it's also important to point out, we'll put this in our email too, that the public hearing for that project is, and guys, the public hearing for that project is still open. So if you have questions, comments are great, but what the developer has to respond to is each and every question that's presented.
Yes.
And so, ask your questions, because the public hearing, the public record is open. Now is the time to do that. You can do that by email. We'll include that in what we send out as well. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody? Yes.
I know David Place is lower elevation than our drinking water. But has anybody confronted the guy who does the beautiful lawns at Irwin Siegel? Because for years, the old, we went through this many, many years ago. The Irwin Siegel probably dumps a lot of phosphorus on his waste. It goes right into the lake.
Yep.
So by getting the boat and ripping it up, ripping the weeds up. With him keep on doing it, it's gonna be a never ending task.
I don't know anything
More,
about that.
yeah, first I'm hearing of that,
This is the
so
first I'm hearing about it.
great to look into. Yeah, no, thanks for bringing it up, yeah, I'll include it.
It was something years ago, but,
And let me just add one other thing,
Yep.
what you're saying, I dealt with this when I worked for the city, a lot of real estate agents up here, let's say, will ask for 80 townhouses, knowing that they really want is 35, and when the town gives him 35, he's happy as could be. They just inflate the amount, knowing that you're gonna get less, it's just like our new electric bills.
Well, I meant to reference what Marcy Cotler had said at the last meeting that we had.
Yeah.
You know, she brought up at that meeting that this place was zoned for single family homes.
yes,
Right,
And if they start building up, they're gonna set a new precedent around here.
well,
Well,
that's
it's,
Treasure Lake though, it's not part of Emerald Green.
I understand that,
just in,
it's a new.
but it's a
development.
new precedent though.
New development.
okay,
But he originally, his original plan was for single family homes.
okay, we got, we're all aligned, okay, thank you guys. Online, I'm sorry, I just can't see.
Rich.
Rich,
Okay, couple of things, addressing Lewis and the Siegel property. I went around that a couple of years back with Howard. They take every precaution with the phosphates, they use natural organics. Okay, that was a very, very big deal conversation. And he clarified it and documented it to the board at that time. Situation with the property on Treasure Lake. I recently wrote Mr. Fratz, who is the Eco Director for DEC in our area. He said that they have not received any applications for DEC approval regarding the property that is being developed. And they do not have the privilege of coming in unless invited in. So it may be appropriate for the board to ask an advisory statement on what this development will do to reflect on our lake. That will give you a very strong position with the planning board, because the planning board has not heard from the DEC yet. Okay. Lastly, I have a question for Dan regarding phosphates being emptied into the water as part of the backwashing treatment at the plant. A number of years back, Michael and I had that discussion, and he said he would cut back on those nutrients. So if that is a process of the plant may have been contributing a major volume of phosphates into the water. But I don't know water treatment process. All I had was Michael's conversation. Thank you.
And a lot of our backwash goes into the sewer.
I didn't hear you.
A lot of our backwash goes into the sewer.
After it's been treated, right?
Yeah, well, that's the backwash.
Right, but is there any raw that gets in there?
Into the lake?
No.
Well,
doesn't the town
Yeah.
dump into that?
I would say if there was an overflow maybe, but that's not the reason.
Right, on a heavy rain day or
Not
something
until
like that, you can have an overflow,
No.
right?
Cause we get calls when we overflow
Yes,
the
but
sewer.
Right.
their outflow.
Some people asked me questions about that online yesterday.
So
The limit of.
keep in mind, the sewer plant is what feeds into Davies.
Mhm.
So, we did request some phosphorus levels going out from the sewer plant into Davies Lake. And, Michael Messenger was happy to comply, so we'll see some of those records as well.
okay, thanks, Rich.
Question.
Yes, please.
I would ask that, for homeowners that need, treat their own lawn, that they get the recommendations of what is safe for the area.
I posted that yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I
So
did.
we'll make sure.
Under Dan's thing of when he came out about water tasting bad, I posted a bunch of links for the homeowners to answer that question.
Great, okay.
But we'll get it out on our official
Yeah.
channels. as
One
well.
of the things that
Some other social media.
in the back channels of talking is that would be helpful for homeowners is if I use this, I can use this. It's like we would like to provide a one pager that's like easy to review. Like if I go to Home Depot, what are my choices? If I go to, we want to make life easy on you. We don't want to overcome.
So if you see in the document that I provided, page 2 is right from the DEC and it tells you how to read the packaging and what you're looking for.
There's an
So I've included
NPK
that in the
number on it.
proposal.
All fertilizers have NPK, nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium. There's K is the potassium. You're looking for what Dan said, the 0 in the middle here. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Rich?
I would like to say that the group, the Lakes Committee, does not need to stand for some emergency, and a long-term could be made. I sent to Nick and Joel an AI report on what that plan should be. And I think that we should go ahead with whatever emergency.
I don't know if you're covering the mic, Rich. We can't hear you.
Yeah, you're going in and out, Rich.
I'm not moving from where I am.
Where you moving
So-
your hand.
I'll repeat. The plan that Dan has for immediate action to reach out to landscapers and fertilizing services that spray our lawns in the community. I told my neighbor across the street about it and he has stopped. So they don't come, anymore. However, the plan that I submitted to Nick and Joel on July 30th was an artificial intelligence summary of how this should be managed. And I think it is a very long-term plan and doesn't have an immediate nature because we need to educate our community about when they wash their car, the soaps and detergents that are used, the soaps and detergents that go down your sink, out your dishwasher, and into the system. We have culverts that are leaking from the road. Okay, everything that washes off your road, and the people that live across the street are usually on a hill higher than the lake. That's called groundwater. That's washing into your lake. All of that accumulated effect is what we have to get a control on, and that takes years. So you need to educate the new and the old people in the community, and you need to educate the administrators outside of our community and other lake sources, because according to the DEC, the Croton Reservoir is getting so much salt from the roads that they may have to shut down the reservoir within 5 years. So we have to look at a big plan and handle the emergencies on a small scale locally, but we need to have a community program that is effective. And there are other lakes, communities in Westchester and outside of our area, outside of this county, that have plans that are working. And we should take the time to look at those plans because they have community support.
Okay, Rich, we'll make sure that the Lakes Committee takes all that under advisement, and they'll come back to us with something more comprehensive.
It was recommended by Princeton Hydro to offer a watershed
Dan, can I just say, just all that recommendations
and
observations
a fertilizer
in the Lakes
program.
Committee, please? All right. Any other homeowner questions, comments, online or
No
anything?
executive session. I just want to say there's going to be an event on Saturday, a Greenway gathering. So for anybody who has or has not gone on the Greenway, we're going to be meeting at 9 a.m. under some, I just want to, the gate entrance from the Wolf Lake Road, Lake Louise.
Corner of Wolf Lake and Lakeshore Drive East Extended where the pedestrian entrance is to the golf course.
Thank you. And there's going to be a scavenger hunt and prizes for the greenest green walker. So please look out for that. It'll be a fun.
Repeat the date. More announcements this week.
Saturday, August 23rd. It's this coming Saturday at 9 a.m. Weather permission.
What's the top prize for the scavenger hunt?
The scavenger hunt's gonna be, it's gonna be finding the flora and fauna that naturally occur in the Greenway and TBD.
Scavenger hunt, Leslie, is mainly designed as an activities for children, as an activity for children, which is, well, and interested adults, which is something that community members seem to be keen on.
If you find the poison ivy, you get a bottle of calamine.
Okay. Homeowner questions, comments going once, going twice? Nope. Mitch?
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a comment like I wind up doing. The community changes over the years. This is this is the most involved situation of anything I think that ever happened with Emerald Green. What's happening with the lakes and the changes and all of that. And it's a subtle thing that's accelerated. And everybody here made great points. Rich even talking about washing machines, detergents, all of these things. There's not a home in the community that doesn't have an effect on this, one way or the other. You have people coming in, and this is good, I'm not passing judgment or anything. You cut down all the trees, and all of a sudden you're doing fertilizing where you had a forest before. All of this the last couple of years is going crazy. I live on the lake for 40 years, I live on the main lake. And I try my best, and I have people come in and do things, and I'm much more aware of it after sitting here this morning with what are they putting in chemicals and what are they doing. A lot of people years ago probably wouldn't have put in the lawns if they knew the effect 30 or 40 years later. They would have left it more as a forest type of look and a whole different community, but you can't change it now. So it's not a matter of saying how many, 2 or 3 of the main true green lawn or whatever these people are. It's literally every person in this community has to be looked at and educated. It's nobody is out of the picture. You could be way away from the lake, but between runoffs and recycling and what you have, if you don't do it in entirety, this is just gonna go nowhere. And I'm glad that you're working on it. I think you're doing terrific. This is the best I've ever seen in 40 years. We patched it around a lot years ago. Nothing was ever done. You were on the right track, but it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I don't know if you could educate them. I never even thought, I don't happen to wash my car, it looks dirty. But if you wash the car and the chemicals are going into the lake also, I never even thought of that. But go around on a weekend and see what people are doing. It's all sudsy. So how can any of this be good? And I could see massive changes the last 2 or 3 years where we didn't have any growth. I'm in a spot on the lake that was really pristine as far as looking at it. You didn't see anything, you could swim in. And little by little now, we're getting a lot of foliage. This new machine we're gonna buy, that could help to some extent, but that's not really the full answer. We went through all of that years ago. They kept cutting things like that, and it grew back. By the end of the season, you had the same growth. And I'm not so sure that it doesn't multiply. I voted to do it, because I'm willing to try all of these things. But I could see the last 2 or 3 years where I have these lily pads all around. I had nothing a few years back. And if we don't do something, I won't be around for all those years, but up the road, you're not gonna have a lake. It's just gonna clog up everything. And that really is the main thing in this community, to have a pristine lake. And that's all I have to say.
Thanks, Mike. Mark, you-
In 1994, I posted this yesterday to the community. In 1994, all residential laundry detergents were banned from having phosphates. But there are still phosphates being used from hotels that are using industrial laundry detergents and things like that. And there are products still out there, as Rich said, when you're washing your car, you have to be sure you have no phosphates at all. But as far as residential is concerned, 1994, all phosphates were banned from laundry. So I don't think there's anybody here that's really using that, anything other than residential laundry stuff. But to answer your question about the little lily pads, yeah, they're popping up like crazy all over the place, and I'm so thankful that this community voted to get that machine.
Okay, with that, gonna close the homeowner member comments questions. Thanks, everybody. And if the board members would hang on, I'd like to make a motion to move us into executive session.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. We'll stop the recording. Folks on Zoom, thank you so much. Yeah.
Scott, can you stay on for a few moments?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
So much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your support. Thank you.
Sweet, mother, Harvey. Great job.
Okay, I think there is some more.
I think it's the most important.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Folks off.